So we are back. We're literally just going to get right into it. Like, we're not going to take time. And for some reason, it took off some of my minutes. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But anyways, the next one that we have is silent retreat. Okay, silence, silent retreat, silence. And so, something that is an affirmation that you may want to say, that you may want to write down is: my heart is open to receiving and giving love as I transform my inner world so my outer world reflects. And this is letting us know again that this is an affirmation that we want to speak, that while we are working on ourselves and guiding ourselves with love, we're not only willing to receive love that is for us, but we're able to give the love to other people to blossom, to grow, to have that reflect and transform for what we need and what we want as well. Okay. The crystal parent that we will want to work with to guide us in having that inner understanding is watermelon tourmaline. Okay. But it says this is a card that will keep showing up if you do not listen. Just as simple, like I said, you don't want to do the same thing. You don't want to react in the same way. You want to have that strategy before taking action to recognize, am I doing the same thing? Am I putting myself in the same process? Am I putting myself in the same situation with the same people? Am I neglecting myself? Am I not moving forward? Am I so willing to go back to how things were that I don't want to progress and move forward at all? So we have to recognize that and keep moving forward to that with that inner understanding and that guidance. Okay. It says the figure in this card sits with the legs crossed and headphones on and a contented smile on their face. Okay. It says this silent retreat is a lesson in physical strength like no other. Again, this is an inner thing that you have to work on. That's why we got the tolerance card first, because we have to recognize, what are we building our body up for? What are we willing to tolerate? What are we willing to take on so willingly that we don't recognize when something isn't for us? That's where the silence comes in, where we're able to have that inner understanding, that inner peace of, okay, I don't want to do this. I don't want to work with this. I don't want to have this. I want to have that transformative ending where I'm not doing the same thing, expecting a different result. I need to keep pushing forward, and I need to have that inner strength and inner understanding to not only always trust in my intuition and always trust in myself, but to be willing to blossom and grow, and to not try to take anyone with me and take on their karma or give people their karma either. Like, that ain't none of my business. I'm gonna let karma handle it for their actions, because you can never control anyone. What you can control and transform and change yourself, and emit that light outwards by what you are giving. Okay? It says you must tame your tongue and resist the need to correct, explain, or detail. Okay? So it didn't say silence your tongue, silence yourself. It said to tame it. That means to understand, again, what you're saying, what and why you're saying it. I was saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it as well. So that way you take that inner thought, you take that moment of reflection to be a little silent, to be a little in tune of like, okay, I get it. This is what I want to say. Or to feel the need to always correct yourself or backtrack, or this is not, this is not what I, no. If you need a moment, take that moment so that way you can say what you need to say. So that way you don't have to go back and now you're confusing yourself. We all understand that we understand things right away in our head. And sometimes it's a little hard to put that out there. Like, I understand exactly what I'm saying, but I need you to understand what I'm saying, or what I'm feeling, or what I'm going through. Because nobody will until you start speaking it. That's why I said tame the tongue and not silence the tongue. So you need a moment to reflect, to step back, or to do a strategy, or to set some goals. It is okay to do that as long as you're able to say what you need to say and get it across. Okay? That's why I said resist the need to correct yourself. Resist the need to try to over explain yourself, over talk. You said what you said, you meant what you said. Now you're going to be able to stand on what you said with your actions and your reactions, and what you continue to say and what you continue to do. It is that mindset of understanding, okay, I said what I said. I said what I said, and I meant what I said. Okay? Or to go into great detail, like just kind of giving information when it's not needed. You're giving extra detail. You're talking too much. You're saying too much. You're giving away a little bit too much information. Okay? You don't need to be doing all that, because not everybody needs to hear that. That's also where the silence comes in, because you're able to have that discernment and the understanding of what you do or don't need to say. It says, when this card comes to you, it is important to see where you may be talking too much. Exactly. You don't need to say everything all the time. You don't need to talk all the time. Like, you're not silencing yourself, but you got 2 ears in one mouth. Okay? So it's okay to listen sometimes and not speak. Not to always be silent, not to always be quiet, but speak when you actually need to. You feel compelled to, where you're like, this will actually help and benefit, not just to talk. Or just to share information with people that don't need to have information shared with them at all. Okay? It says, remaining silent will bring you more alignment. Okay? And that is, again, taking a moment. I just need a moment to make sure that what I'm about to say is good, or to recognize what you said, to even listen. Because some people just listen to respond. It's okay to listen, to take in, understand. That way, if you need to ask questions to get a better understanding before you respond, it works out in your benefit. It works out for you in a way that is productive, for everyone. And that way, if you respond in after you take that time, and they're still giving you this energy that's making you feel a little off within your inner self, okay, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do to protect your peace, okay? The next card that we have is Hermikite, which is connect. Sorry, not connect. Create. See little weed balls. So cute, okay? And the plant that we would actually want to work with, just to kind of create a little bit more, get that drive, like the I Ching said, that fire, to not overboil ourselves, but to still have that intense passion and flame, is marigold, which I think is a flower, but don't quote me on that. I'm not an herbalist, yo. I wear green, that don't mean I know shit about the green. Okay. But it says you want to listen to the plants around you and take your medicine into your own hands. Literally, that inner healing while you're transforming your inner world. Okay? You want to make sure that what you are feeding yourself, you're mindful of, you're cautious of. What am I saying? What legacy am I creating? Like the tolerance card. What am I putting forth? What am I putting out there? I am able to create my own medicine. Okay, you ever like been around people, or went to work or anything of that sort, or you went to a situation, you just got sick, or you just got tired, or you just felt angry? That is literally, and then as soon as you go somewhere, you do something that you actually enjoy, where you're creating this energy, creating either art or these words, you're able to just create this vibe. That's why people are like, I want to create a vibe. I want to create, because you literally have to cultivate something where you're planting it and you're working on it with your hands, and you're creating something that is healing to you, that is working for you, that is for your betterment and for your understanding. I think I got a lazy eye, but I can't really tell because it kind of hangs low. Anyways, that is better for you in a way that heals your body, like I said, and that helps you, and that allows you that when I am giving out this energy and I'm receiving this energy, it is still for my betterment. It is still to help me with my tolerance, of setting boundaries, of setting up peaceful environments, of setting up inner wisdom and inner understanding, of putting out good joy, good vibes, good, all of this stuff. You have to recognize that it all takes time, and you have to create it. You have to cultivate it. It says, it says, it's time to create your own medicine and experiment in the kitchen with different nootropics and plants. Okay. It says, it is said in legend that there are several emerald tablets for humanity to find, so they can know how to truly live. And we have 7, at least physical chakra points, right? And so we're able to balance ourselves and have that. It says we will be able to evolve our consciousness enough to fully integrate the teachings of the last lessons needed to grow. So that's why we want to sometimes be quiet. That's why sometimes we want to set up a strategy before we do things. That's why we want to reflect and understand, what am I putting out there? What is going to be my legacy? What is my leaving behind? What am I setting up? We have to realize that if we are our own medicine and our own cure, we also can have our own poison. We can also lead ourselves in a way that isn't a reflection of what we need to do or why we need to do it in the first place. We need to start creating something. We create everything. When you say yes to this, that is you creating and willingly saying that. When you reject it, that is you creating willing to do that. When you start writing, when you start typing, when you start building, when you start planting, when you start anything, that is literally a creation. So what are you creating? Allow yourself to have that silent retreat every now and again and go back into self and realize, what am I cultivating for me? Okay? The next card that we have is Abracadabra, which is connect. This is connect. Okay? And as you can see, look, it's literally, this is one card after the other. Like they're on the same page. Okay? You have to create in order to. You have to create in order to connect. Okay? And it says the plant spirit that you will want to work with is aloe itself. Okay, whether you put that on your skin, whether you wipe your butt with it, but these are the plants you want to work with: marigold and aloe, and watermelon tourmaline, which is a crystal. Okay, it says abracadabra is said to be a magical series of numbers. Okay, and if you write it out in a certain way, it'll bring miracles into your life. The literal translation is, I would create as I speak, which is why I said we want to tame the tongue, because what we think is what we speak. What we speak is what we do. What we do is what we become. Okay, it becomes our consequences. It becomes our environment. So we want to again be mindful of what we're intaking and what we're putting out, because our tongue is very powerful. Very powerful. Power of the tongue is strong as fuck. That's why I said it takes that physical strength. Okay. It says, in this card, you are encouraged to speak to your heart. That's why in the first one that we got, we had to recognize with the silent retreat, it says, my heart is open to receiving and giving love as I transform. It starts with the heart. That's why I said the 7 chakras, we have to make sure that that is in balance, that we are doing everything with love, because love is the first thing. Love is the first creation. Love is powerful. Everybody wants to experience love and have love and get love itself. Ooh, you loud? Anyways, speak to your heart in a way that creates a gratitude rampage. You ever seen somebody go off on a rampage? Like I don't get it. Like they are going off. They're going crazy. But gratitude. Be thankful for everything that you have. Be thankful for everything that is going to come. Be thankful for the situation to guide you out. Be just grateful. Just wake up with that. Even if you just say, oh, thank you. That works too. that works too. Okay? You want to make sure that you are allowing that. It says for extra integration, do the pairing below and read all the cards in the spread. I read it front to back. Because if your words are power, you're able to get a lot of understanding and a lot of information, okay? Oh, should I do this one? Because now I don't know why it's giving me 16 minutes. The next one that we have is equalizer, which is our higher self, okay? So once we recognize what our tolerance is, once we silence and got that inner understanding and we're creating that transformative world, and with that creation, we're able to connect. What are we able to connect to? Our higher self, okay? It says the plant that we want to work with is chamomile, okay? It says when this card appears for you, it is time to take one to the face. Secrets revealed. Bucking the system and separation. Those are things that you're going to have to take a hit to the face in, because again, this was in a way that you were either neglecting yourself, you were doing the same things to say that you weren't ready, and or you were trying to give people's karma or help them with their own karma. And sometimes people just got to do shit on their own. Okay. So you're going to take one to the face, and that may mean a hard truth or a loving accountability, okay? That is, again, once you go inside, you're going to recognize what did I didn't do for myself. Who was I allowing around me? It's going to be a hard truth of understanding that maybe I did neglect my intuition and being trustworthy in myself and being confident in what I said and what I meant. Or maybe it's going to be a loving accountability and recognizing I keep doing the same thing, keep going back to the same exact place, keep going back to the same exact person, and I'm ending up in a way where I'm not loving myself or loving my environment in any way at all. So you have to recognize that, okay? It says some cultures believe our higher selves gives the lessons we will have in life once we inhabit our human form. This is so that we can evolve our consciousness back to the seventh dimensional realm where it resides. Yes, again, seven chakras. Maybe you need to meditate. Maybe you need to do some yoga. Maybe you need to start writing a little bit more. Maybe you need to start going out into nature a little bit more and recognizing that. Maybe you need to clean off your altar and set that up. There's certain things that you want to recognize and dive into that is going to help you to have that understanding with yourself. I am going to have to finish this card on the next one because, like I said, it's giving me that beep, 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 beep timer. I had 20 minutes first time and 16 minutes a second. Confusion all around. But I'll be back. It's going to be a few parts, like I said.